When you're close, you can feel it. You try harder. And you don't give up. Because when you're close, you do more. For the people that matter to you. And for the future, which is just around the corner. Being close is the best place to be. And in Sunneborg, we are close.
Discover a treasured part of Florida called the Jewel of the Treasure Coast. For good reason. A fusion of coastal old Florida and new adventures, where sunset dining intertwines with vibrant local art scenes. And tea times meet game days for effortless enjoyment. Uncovered treasure in St. Lucie, Florida.
Yeah, for me, it's already been over a 20-year show. And over those 20 years, it's been constant growth and learning through every situation, whether I was coaching a club in Europe or coaching a club in the United States or playing in the United States or playing in Europe. All of those things had a major impact on what the plan is and what, supports the dream. And that plan is now worldwide, and it's going through Denmark. For me, that plan starts with, taking care of the athletes that we currently had because they've just accomplished a lot. And how do we take care of those athletes? And then how do we take care of our staff? And then financially, how do we support ourselves? So those 3 points. And then comes the fact of, well, how do you build more Americans in the United States playing handball? And that's one of the greatest challenges we've ever had. And there's been highs and lows for that. And I'm we are looking for a more consistent method for that, and that's what's going on right now. Well, for a lot of Americans, that dream is to be in the Olympics, and that's a huge dream. And a lot of it is more reality now because LA is in less than 2.5 years. So now, as that reality and people are facing it every day that goes by, people are realizing they're closer to their dream, and more players want to be involved. And I want to do everything that everything that those players want to accomplish. I want to help them, you know. And there's more than 14 players that want to be in the Olympics. There's a lot more, and going through that and supporting each one of those players is part of the dream I have as well, you know, supporting and then seeing them succeed in that dream. Well, representing the United States is something. It's like representing, if you're from Denmark, it's like when you represent Denmark and you get to put on the colors, you feel, hey, I don't want to lose this, and I want to represent correctly, and I want myself, my staff, and all our players to represent the United States and feel that pride as we, you know, chase not only just this Olympics, but chase the next Olympics after that and the World Championships. And it's going to require a lot of sacrifice from a lot of different people, myself and a lot of players. Well, the great thing about, you know, being in Denmark and, you know, seeing all the different clubs and the players and the youth and, you know, male and female players, and it's that you can really focus in one area and focus on one thing, and, you know, focus on handball, where for me, that's kind of like where Florida will be. Right now I'm recruiting athletes from all over, but as I get associated into Florida, where I am in the Treasure Coast, is, you know, to focus on that area and now really incorporate some handball structure in that area. Now it takes time, and, you know, we have a facility, and that's what I will encourage, and I'm encouraging, you know, any club in the United States, whether it's, you know, Cal Heat or New York or LA or Chicago or all the clubs, Ohio State, these college clubs, North Carolina, they all have an infrastructure and they're building within their area, you know. So that's kind of, if you can support those clubs and support, you know, the area and let them work, that's going to be a huge step for handball. For me, the answer is pretty easy. Focus on where you are in the United States, and do what you can in there, and just do your one job well. And when you do that one job, everything sort of, the dominoes start taking effect, because people want to be a part of successful things.
USA Team Handball presents What is handball? Handball is the best sport you probably didn't know existed. It's fast-paced, high-scoring. It's a very physical, full-contact sport. It has little to no breaks. It's non-stop action. It requires excellent athleticism, hand-eye coordination, and ball skills. Handball is the sport Americans have been training for their whole lives without even knowing it. It's been an Olympic sport since 1972. Let's get into a quick breakdown of handball. There's 7 players on the court at a time per team. That's 6 field players and 1 goalie. It's played in 2 30-minute halves. The team with the most goals after the second half wins. Games are high scoring. There's approximately 50+ goals scored each match. A handball is a few inches smaller than a volleyball, but built like a soccer ball. This ball can be thrown over 80 miles per hour, almost as fast as a major league fastball. You can take up to 3 steps before needing to dribble, pass, or shoot. The semicircle surrounding the goal is the goalie area, or 6-meter line. That's approximately 20 feet, and only the goalie is allowed in this area. Goals are scored by throwing the ball into the goal from outside of the 6-meter line, or diving into it and throwing before you hit the ground. Handball is a very popular sport around the world. There are 11 million teams, 31 million players, and 167 different countries playing handball. The most recent handball championships welcomed over 900,000 spectators and over 1.6 billion TV views. Handball isn't just an amateur sport. There are professional handball players based in European leagues that compete in the Champions League, just like soccer. Examples of world-class handball clubs that compete in the Champions League include the likes of FC Barcelona and PSG. Here are some headlines regarding handball's presence in America. We don't seem to be the only ones who think the US should be playing handball. Take a look at some of these tweets. Do you think you have what it takes to be an Olympic handball player for the US? Your athletic career doesn't have to be over after high school or college sports. You can still compete at an international and Olympic level. Imagine being awarded a gold medal in the Olympics representing the United States. So we ask you this. Why aren't you playing handball? This is America's next great sport. This is handball.
When you're close, you can feel it. You try harder. And you don't give up. Because when you're close, you do more. For the people that matter to you. And for the future, which is just around the corner. Being close is the best place to be. And in Sunneborg, we are close.
Discover a treasured part of Florida called the Jewel of the Treasure Coast. For good reason. A fusion of coastal old Florida and new adventures, where sunset dining intertwines with vibrant local art scenes. And tea times meet game days for effortless enjoyment. Uncovered treasure in St. Lucie, Florida.
Well, good morning, one. Good morning, all. My name is Kurt Schaefer. I'll be your commentator for today in this men's open matchup of the 2026 edition of the U.S. Open Championship. Brought to you, of course, by USA Team Handball and our sponsors, as you saw before, the city of Slumberg, as well as the city of St. Lucie, Florida. Thank you to St. Lucie, Florida, for allowing us to set up our men's residency program. And thank you to Slumberg for allowing our men's national team to play against you guys and hone their skills. We've got a highly anticipated men's open division game here. I was about to say Stromberg again. Sorry, it's been quite a day. We have Milwaukee United taking on the Columbus Armada. Both of these teams, firm open competitors. They've got a wide bench for Milwaukee, some serious talent for Columbus over there. To start us off, I'm going to go through and actually read you guys out the team sheets so everyone's aware and all the teams know exactly who's playing. Starting off with Milwaukee, we have number 1, Ryan Fleming, number 2, David Hutton, number 4, Eric Langman, number 5, Andrew Milke, number 7, Ralph Yeager, number 10, Johan Mitschke, number 16, Johan Adam, number 17, Percy Lopez Fonseca, number 27, Nicholas Davis. Number 44, Risto Danilov. Apologies. Number 58, Hatem Bukdir. Number 74, Ahmad Rashid. Number 91, Antonio Isaac Cruz Zambrano. And finally, rounding out the list, number 95, Ian Ortega. Official A for the Milwaukee side, Momin El Sharawi. And official B is Ahmed Saad. For the Columbus Armada suiting up today, we have number 3, Austin Clark. Number 7, Teddy Campbell. Number 8, Bruce Patchko. Number 9, Arvid Roden. Number 14, Colby Sherwood. Number 17, Christian Grabler. Number 22, JD Orr. Number 28, Ross Minor. And I don't see his number anywhere, but he is listed on the team sheet. He will be in appearance. Number 21, Aiden Buxton. The official A listed for the Columbus Armada is JD Orr. He will be the player coach behind the sticks. Let's go live now to court 1, the main court, as we start off our game. It's 0-all now as the teams anticipate the referee's whistle. I have my handy dandy scoreboard operating bug here. And once the referees call, I'll be able to push that button. I do apologize. It does count down and not up. For those of you who are not aware, in handball, we should be counting up. I chose a handball scoreboard, and apparently it does not want to operate like one. The referees for this match still taking their time to give us the whistle. Looks like there may be some issues with the ball, some wishes for a better ball, as referee Mishi Mensing finally gives the Armada their pieces of equipment. And we begin. Maybe not. And now we begin. This Armada roster untested against major competition with quite a lot of new players. This Milwaukee roster, on the other hand, Milwaukee has built their club to the point that they can now begin hosting their own tournaments as they do right near the end of the season. I will say, not really on Milwaukee's fault. The rest of the year is kind of taken up by teams. However, one does wonder how much that end of the season tournament impacts their ability to get new teams in, as JD Orr makes his first save of the day on a Milwaukee breakthrough. Not technically a breakthrough, it's a fast break, but if you do give me some credence here, I'm trying the hardest I can, do the best I can to make sure that this is the best camera operation, scoreboard operation commentary I can give you. Milwaukee now from the back, center back with possession. That's Yeager. Goes out to the left. Ball through the middle on a wing cross. Wing swaps down on a overload, and that's going to be good for Milwaukee. They'll put their first on the board, drawing blood. Not literal blood. There is no blood in this game so far, thankfully. Notable players for the Columbus Armada, obviously the player, captain, coach, founder, commissioner of the Trailblazer Conference, creator of Ohio's handball scene, Julian D. Orr. For the One Piece fans out there, the D in Julian D. Orr is very much equivalent to the D in Monkey D. Luffy. Arvid Roden reprises his role in the backfield, sitting at center back and at left back. Right now, he's number 9 there at left back. He was a mainstay player of their Vegas campaign last July. Colby Sherwood taking a large portion of the ministerial role. He's sitting over there in the right back position for now. Number 8, Bruce Patchko, featured for the Ohio State team. He is a sophomore in college as Columbus sinks their first for the day as well. Good job on Bruce to get a win against my own Colorado State side. I didn't know who to root for. I was very happy with how everything went, as the Buckeyes took down the Rams and the Rams took down the Buckeyes. I coached the CSU DU team, and Ohio State is my alma mater. Featuring for Milwaukee today, a couple notable names, including the aforementioned Ralph Yeager in the middle. He's a dominating force for their linemen. At that pivot position, number 5, Andrew Milwaukee. He is a mainstay of that Milwaukee force. He's also featured for a couple other teams that I've watched throughout the years. Huge presence in the midfield, huge presence on the line. And he can make himself known very quickly. as Orr takes the ball from the outfield and throws it in. The outfield? Yeah, that's fair enough. That is what it is. Columbus now in possession, moving the ball, trying to go to the pivot. They don't get there in time. Milwaukee in possession now, moving with some momentum. It's all tied up here. They want to break it. And they will get that one. Milwaukee 2-1 Columbus. You know, you can't call it a depleted side, but you can certainly call it a smaller side for Columbus Armada. After the recent executive takeover, more of a stepping up by Colby Sherwood, that team is reconstituting itself, trying to get away from the strict moniker as a local alumni team, trying to make their entrance on the national stage. Last year, they did not feature. I believe the last time they went to nationals was in Adrian in 2021-2022 season. That tournament ended in disaster for the Armada. They hadn't been back since, and that's a timeout, says referee Mensing. And she will award a spot at the 7. And that's going to be number 17, Percy Lopez Fonseca, to take. Fonseca gets past Orr, and that'll be 3-1 to the Momentum Teal. A little bit of a strange color for the Opens. We're not too harsh on the teams for going with such similar colors. Also, you know, ultimately Columbus did go very dark on that blue. Those are new jerseys. New jerseys for a newly branded team. The Armada now with a official sponsor. And Columbus starts from the backfield. Patchko in the middle. He's usually a pivot. Sherwood calling for a cross. Patchko able to get it across. Trying to find his own number 7. That's Teddy Campbell down there low. Roden now from the left spot. Roden going to Patchko. Patchko out Sherwood. Sherwood doesn't want it, gives it to Patchko. The rising sophomore, possibly rising in his handball career here, as that shot does not go for Columbus. They'll give the ball back to Milwaukee. Milwaukee now, breakaway with momentum, jump shot, and that's a jump goal. As a festive Milwaukee women's team brought the drums to nationals. Love to see it. Love to hear it too. Now again, Patchko at the center back role. He's not comfortable there. And that's Adrian Buxton from the side. He will draw a 7 as once again, Mensing, the referee, calls for a timeout and a 2-minute awarded. I can't quite make out the player number from here. I do believe that's number 11. No, I'm completely wrong. That is number 4 from Milwaukee. Will have his first 2 of the day. We'll go ahead and enter that on the screen now. And Roden steps up to take. We have 19 minutes, 12 seconds left. I got a little away on the time. Not a big issue. And Roden, live ball, live score. Block shot 1. Not the second time. Columbus gets their second for the day. And Milwaukee will restart from the spot. They still lead 4-2. Milwaukee now in possession. Their wing has it. He's playing a high line. It goes to Yeager. Yeager from the middle looking to distribute. And Columbus able to hold off a Milwaukee attack there after a miss from the right back. I do believe that's number 3 unlisted on the Milwaukee register. Number 44 checks in, listed as Risto Danilov. Apologies, Mr. Danilov. My Slavic escapes me after a week of commentary. Coming up on a week of commentary. As the referee is going to keep this one dead for a second. Get it down to 18 minutes, 20 seconds left. And the penalties, we have about 1:30 left. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to adjust that, unfortunately. And Patchko having a discussion with the referee. Referee, I believe they saw what we saw, which is that Columbus, I thought it was Milwaukee, is having some issues. The referee might not be too happy with one of the player roster lists. Well, everything seems to be fine here as we restart play. Roden in the middle, and that'll be a play on, says the referee, a 9. And that'll be a yellow card awarded. Number 3. Number 3, Mensing holds up her German thumb index middle for 3. Number 7 now goes to the pivot. Sherwood not able to get it. Milwaukee breakaway, and that one slots past or couldn't quite make out who made that one. I think it was Milwaukee. I'm not completely certain though. Roden now looking to disperse. Patchko goes to the wing. Buxman, and it's would have been a goal, but he stepped on the line, and I completely missed it with the camera. Unfortunately, I cannot do 3 jobs at once. I'll try though, just for you guys. Milwaukee now on the attack. Nitschke with the ball. They attack through the middle. Lopez tries to get the shot off. He's not able to get there in time. Milwaukee does get the rebound, and they slot it past Orr. The Armada unable to capitalize when they needed it the most on that defensive stop. Would have been a pretty one. And Columbus does capitalize and immediately scores again. Yeah, by the end of this, I'm going to have to capitalize the scoreboards. I don't know why I keep saying that. Sometimes you get stuck in a rut in commentary. It's just how it works. Nitschke now out to Lopez on the wing. Going back to the center, that's number 44, Danilov. I think Danilov sounds better. And another one from the left wing from Milwaukee. 7-3, the official tally. Not sure how we got to 6-4. I did, so I do apologize for that one. The Armada probably not looking to win, just looking to get some experience. As a new player, Christian Graber checks in on left wing. He hasn't gotten too much action out of this one yet. Milwaukee keeper keeps that one out, and Danilov will start this again. Danilov starts this again. Milwaukee now out of the pocket. They look to the center back. Center back surveys the right back. There's pressure from Patchko. Back to Danilov. Goes to the right wing. Lopez spin move, and it's through. Milwaukee 8-3. Milwaukee running rampant on this Columbus team. This is, I believe, the first time Columbus has ever had this kind of a roster with most players not only not from the Ohio State team, but also not prior handball players. And Arvid Roden taking his shot and narrowing that lead to 4. Unfortunately for Aiden Buxman, I did miss his best shot of the day. Had he not stepped on the line, that would have been a very pretty goal. So from me to you, Mr. Buxton, I do give you my deepest sympathies. I will see you next year, as of course everybody in the handball community is aware, and I'm totally not just telling most of you guys for the first time. Aiden Buxman plays for Colorado State University, out here as an intern for USA Team Handball, giving it everything he can to make sure that the production for this goes forwards well. As 27, that's Nicholas Davis in the middle. He gets that one to go. Milwaukee 9-4. I'd like to get, a yellow card awarded. I didn't see who on or who to, but everyone stays on the court for the time being. And first time player, Christian Graber, puts that one into a defender's hands. For many of the players on Columbus, it's their first time playing or their first time playing with glue. Not expecting much out of them, just a learning opportunity and a fun weekend. For Milwaukee, this one probably has a little bit more strength. Milwaukee's trying to solidify themselves as more than just a Chicago B team in the community. We'll see if they can get that one or not. And some bobbling with the ball for Columbus, but they come away with possession anyways. Columbus on the attack now. Roden in the center back role, passes out wide. Number 7, Teddy Campbell. In the left back spot. Goes down to Colby Sherwood on the wing. He's not able, on the pivot, not able to get there in time. And that one rolls out of bounds harmlessly. Well, it's no surprise who I'm rooting for today. If you couldn't tell the amount I'm talking about that, the Columbus Armada. However, so far, both of these teams, I think, can be more than happy with their performance. Once again, Columbus hosting a bunch of new guys, and Milwaukee putting on a bit of a clinic here. As about halfway in the third, what did I just say? About halfway through the first period, Milwaukee absolutely domineering on this Columbus side. Little slower pace than our elite games. However, Milwaukee taking every advantage they can when they see him. And just like that's a fast break. Patchko stops that fast break in his steps. And Grabler takes it up. As Ahmed Saad on this side of the court. You can see him down there in the camera just a little bit. Columbus is given that goal. Perhaps, perhaps not. It is 10-5. It does, in fact, look like it'll be a 2-minute. So on top of it being a goal, it's a 2-minute on number 2 for Milwaukee. As I probably should have paused time quite a bit ago. I do apologize about that, guys. 2-minute for number 2 will be added now, and the match continues. Columbus keeping this one alive, but not keeping it close. 10-5 the score in Bettendorf, Iowa, as a fully Midwest game takes place. And just like that, referee calls it dead, starts pointing. Referee Mensing not liking what she's seeing at all. We're going to go ahead and pause this one. 12:27. I will let the game clock run for the duration of the 2. And then I will readjust it afterwards so you guys have a good idea of when number 2 himself is off of his suspension. Milwaukee from the back. Columbus playing a 3-out defense. Milwaukee trying to find a lane and getting stuffed at the line. Great defense by Campbell. Milwaukee now outright. Grabler tries to pass down. He gets down. Danilov does not take advantage of that. And he's wrapped up on the line. Danilov. And that one goes through Columbus ball. Columbus ball on a breakaway. Patchko tries to get there. He is not able to get it in. And that will be Columbus possession. Milwaukee did tap it out of bounds sideways. A good stop for the men in teal. A great opportunity now for the men in, what'd you call that? Dark blue. And just like that, on command, Teddy Campbell with a rising shot. 10-6. Milwaukee now on the attack. They're playing a 2-back formation with wings high instead of pulling their goalie or opting for a 0 pivot. 27, that's Davis. He goes out left, goes in for what looks like a bit of an overload. Wing back pass. It's on the left side. It's up, and Orr makes a save. And a 2-minute called by the referee on Teddy Campbell. A 2-minute for Campbell will be Columbus's first 2-minute that I recorded of this game. And that's Teddy Campbell, number 7, not number 2. Keep saying the word 2, start thinking the word 2. Go ahead, match time. All right. And as we wait here for the next play on call from the referee, we're sitting at 10 minutes and 43 seconds left. 10 minutes 43, waiting on the referee's call now. And the referee says, play on. Roden with the ball passes down to Grabler. Grabler jump shot, and it's just a little high. Can't blame the man. His first time playing with glue. You know, whenever I'm coaching teams, I'll make it very clear, I do not care if you get a goal during practice. I care about whether or not you are doing what we are teaching. Getting a goal is all fine and dandy, but getting a goal should be what happens at the end of it, not what happens because of it. As number 27, Davis takes a shot and gets it good. Play continues. And we are at 10 minutes left in this first half as Roden goes a little wide on it. It's a good shot. It's not going to connect. And a good shot can be as good as it can, but if it's not a goal, it doesn't count. Milwaukee now tries their own tricky shot, not able to connect on it. It goes above the goal itself. Columbus now with a chance to lower that lead just a little bit. They are still down a man for another 45 seconds. Roden doesn't seem to care too much as he sinks that one in the back of the net on a rising center back shot. Milwaukee now. Milwaukee now doing everything they can in order to make it happen for them. They go down to the pivot and out to the wing. Oh, and that's a good goal for Milwaukee. A lot of contact with that winger on the jump, but as long as it's the winger doing a natural motion, it's not going to be called as anything, as Patchko takes a nice slap to the face. Not intentional. Neither of these teams have much bad blood between each other, and these guys are going to play a clean game as much as they can. Patchko through. Patchko gets a 9 out of it. Now to Sherwood at pivot. Out to Campbell. Campbell rising shot, and it's right at the goalie. Stopped. Milwaukee now in motion. Going out into the pivot slot, and they get it to go. 13 now for the men in teal. Columbus Armada sitting at 7. We're at 7 minutes, 55 seconds left. About exactly where we are on that. And it looks to me as though the referees have taken a timeout at 7:52. We'll go ahead and reset that clock for you guys there. The referee is pointing at something, trying to figure out what's going on. We will see how that shapes out. Looks like it's just going to be a regular continuation of play. Columbus now, new blood on the attack. That's number 23, unlisted. And Milwaukee on a run through, on a breakaway. They've dropped the ball. They get a pass out, and that's going to be above it for a behind the net shot. Nothing to do there for Milwaukee. 7:24 left in the game. Well, I'm sorry, 7:24 left in the half. Columbus now. Campbell trying to go somewhere with it. He takes a hard fall and a timeout for the referee. They'll give a 2-minute. That'll be the second 2-minute on Milwaukee number 2. And Columbus now goes to the line with Campbell stepping back to speak with Professor Dr. Orr. Roden taking a 7, and that's a not to do. Man between the sticks. I can't quite make his number out. I believe that is Yon Adam. I think I see his number as Yon Adam. I'm not certain though. And as I am handed and taken away from a couple pieces of papers, I would once again like to highlight the immense efforts put forward by our volunteers, both here and at home, helping on this tournament and ensuring that it is the best quality that we can give you. As Milwaukee takes a 7, and they make theirs 14-7. Milwaukee now doubling Columbus's score. Coming up on the last 5 minutes of the half. Columbus new blood in this game. We'll see how much experience they get from this. A very good game, if I don't say so myself, for such a thing to take place. Sherwood takes a tumble, but it'll be all good to play as we're now at 6 minutes 34 on the official clock time. Now sitting at 6:15 or so. And another hard fall for Milwaukee as the clock pauses and we await the official designation. I see both of the referees now talking with the Milwaukee coach. Not the best sign in the world. Definitely not something you want a lot of. The referee raises her hand for play. And we go forwards. Milwaukee now on 5 players. I do not have the player who it was on. However, Columbus unable to penetrate on that one. What am I talking about? I already have the 2 listed. Number 2 is still out for another 50 seconds. Milwaukee now. Outright. And it's a no-go. Campbell, a little tender on his knees there. And tell you, as a big man sitting down front for most of this, it's never easy. That's for sure. Milwaukee again from the middle. 27, it's Davis. Davis in that right back shot. Looks like he's trying to make something happen. Goes into the center, takes a long shot, and it's off the crossbar. Columbus escaped that one unharmed. Let's see if they can spend these few precious remaining minutes of this half trying to mount a comeback. Or is this going to be Milwaukee's day and Milwaukee's half? And just like that, Colby Sherwood, right position, right pass, right catch. Not the finish they needed there. Milwaukee from the middle. Danilov. How about we just call him Risto? Risto. Out to the right. It's good to go. Milwaukee 15, Columbus 7. And the unlisted player for Columbus. Will that be counted? No, it will not. However, it does appear that goalie number 1, Ryan Fleming, checks in for Milwaukee. 4 minutes now separate these players from their halftime breaks. And out from the left wing, okay, nice. Out from the left wing is Milwaukee. They get their 16th on the day. And Campbell tries to make it happen, can't do a job. And that is a timeout called before the shot, I do believe. Yes, a timeout called by Coach Aiden Buxman, aka the only Columbus player on the bench. We will go into a brief commercial break.
When you're close, you can feel it. try harder. And you don't give up. Because when you're close, you do more. For the people that matter to you. And for the future, which is just around the corner. Being close is the best place to be. And in Sunneborg, we are close.
And as that commercial interlude finishes up, this presentation of the U.S. Open Championship will continue. The first year we have ever been able to stream with commercial breaks. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, but believe me, it is a lot more than just more dead air and me talking. We would like to thank our sponsors, the city of Sonderborg, as well as the city of St. Lucie, Florida, and our other sponsors, including Hummel, Moulton, and Progressive Nature, bringing you guys the best possible experience that we can get today. Patchko now in the back. Roden, jump shot. He gets it. More of a standing shot, if I do say so myself. About 3:30 left in this one. And that's out to the left back. No! Orr's going to stop that one. Julian de Orr. He still has it. Arvid Roden looks out to Patchko. Down to Sherwood. Sherwood turns on the pivot, and that'll be good to go. Columbus eking ever so close to getting back to that wonderful 16. We'll see if Milwaukee has anything to say about that. They start with the same lineup they had at the beginning of this match. Jaeger in the middle, Lopez out to the right. Jaeger now looks to take a jump shot. Campbell wraps him up. Out to Lopez. Lopez tries to go under. Campbell all over the place. Playing hard defense. Referee says clean enough. It'll just be a 9. Lopez. Into the middle with Jaeger. Down low. And that's a jump shot. Orr stops it. Looking a little confused as to where the ball is. Roden now on the move. And that'll be Graveler trying to get through. He's not going to be able to do it. As the Milwaukee line stands strong. And Columbus tries to go down to the wing, not able to make it happen. Milwaukee now in possession. Ryan Fleming with the ball. Lopez takes it past the halfway point. And he will do some interplay with his wing. Unlisted number 6 for the men in teal today. Lopez tries to get past Patchko. Not able to do so. Campbell with possession. However, referee gives him a break. Lopez now looks out to Jaeger. Out left. Back to the center. They're distributing the ball well across their back line. And Jaeger takes a shot or stops it. And almost rebounded by Milwaukee. However, that ball can't control it, and it will go out of bounds. Roden now. Down to Graber, who cannot connect on that shot. Pushed out by Fleming. It'll be Milwaukee's possession again. The clock on your screen, about maybe 1 or 2 seconds early, you're all fine there. Jaeger out to Lopez. Lopez alone, no wing in sight. Jaeger goes back. They try to break through on the left. They break through on the left. Milwaukee 17, Columbus 9. Columbus with 15 seconds left. Are they going to get to double digits by halftime? Roden hands it to Campbell. He goes for the jump shot, and that'll not go. Powerful shot, but he held on too long, causing it to bounce over the net. And JD Orr stops that last shot from going in. That'll be the half. Your halftime score for the men's open division match between Milwaukee and Columbus, 17 to Milwaukee and Columbus on 9. Thank you for watching. We're going to go into a short commercial break.
When you're close, you can feel it. You try harder. And you don't give up. Because when you're close, you do more. For the people that matter to you. And for the future, which is just around the corner. Being close is the best place to be. And in Sunderborg, we are close.
Discover a treasured part of Florida called the Jewel of the Treasure Coast. For good reason. A fusion of coastal old Florida and new adventures, where sunset dining intertwines with vibrant local art scenes. And tea times meet game days for effortless enjoyment. Uncovered treasure in St. Lucie, Florida.
Yeah, for me, it's already been over a 20-year show. And over those 20 years, it's been constant growth and learning through every situation, whether I was coaching a club in Europe or coaching a club in the United States or playing in the United States or playing in Europe. All of those things had a major impact on what the plan is and what, supports the dream. And that plan is now worldwide, and it's going through Denmark. For me, that plan starts with, taking care of the athletes that we currently had because they've just accomplished a lot. And how do we take care of those athletes? And then how do we take care of our staff? And then financially, how do we support ourselves? So those 3 points. And then comes the fact of, well, how do you build more Americans in the United States playing handball? And that's one of the greatest challenges we've ever had. And, there's been highs and lows for that. And we are looking for a more consistent method for that. And that's what's going on right now. Well, for a lot of Americans, that dream is to be in the Olympics. And that's a huge dream. And a lot of it is more reality now because LA is in less than 2.5 years. So now as that reality and people are facing it every day that goes by, people are realizing they're closer to their dream. And more players want to be involved, and I want to do everything that everything that those players want to accomplish. I want to help them, and there's more than 14 players that want to be in the Olympics. There's a lot more, and going through that and supporting each one of those players is part of the dream I have as well, supporting and then seeing them succeed in that dream. Well, representing the United States is something. It's like representing. If you're from Denmark, it's like when you represent Denmark and you get to put on the colors, you feel, hey, I don't want to lose this, and I want to represent correctly, and I want myself, my staff, and all our players to represent the United States and feel that pride as we, chase not only just this Olympics, but chase the next Olympics after that and the World Championships. And it's going to require a lot of sacrifice from a lot of different people, myself, and a lot of players. Well, the great thing about, being in Denmark and, seeing all the different clubs and the players and the youth and, male and female players, and it's that you can really focus in one area and focus on one thing and, focus on handball, where for me, that's kind of like where Florida will be. Right now I'm recruiting athletes from all over, But as I get associated into Florida, where I am in the Treasure Coast, is, to focus on that area and now really incorporate some handball structure in that area. Now it takes time, and we have a facility, and that's what I will encourage, and I'm encouraging any club in the United States, whether it's Cal Heat or New York or LA or Chicago or all the clubs, Ohio State, these college clubs, North Carolina, they all have an infrastructure and they're building within their area, so that's kind of, if you can support those clubs and support the area and let them work, that's going to be a huge step for handball. For me, the answer is pretty easy. Focus on where you are in the United States, and do what you can in there, and just do your one job well. And when you do that one job, everything sort of, the dominoes start taking effect, because people want to be a part of successful things.
Welcome on, welcome all, welcome back to the second half of this Columbus Armada versus Milwaukee United showdown, with a surprising twist from halftime. The player list I was provided with is not the total official player list for the Columbus Armada, and did not include all registered players. A number 3, Michael King, has checked in for the Columbus Armada. Michael King, previous experience at New York Athletic Club, could be a bit of a challenge for this Milwaukee defense. I'm going to lower that. I feel like that's kind of really getting to your guys' ears. I don't need to be that loud, right? Like, yeah, I love talking, but I don't need to hurt y'all's ears or nothing like that. Let's go take a look at the feed. I haven't quite figured out how to get the feed on my screen yet, so I just have it on my phone here. As we do look, Michael King has a talk with the players. A little irked, I'm sure. King is a notoriously strong player. And Milwaukee will continue. They are up by 8. Let's see how many they can make it. A lot of Milwaukee supporters in the chat. And right away, Milwaukee is throwing first blood for this half. They double Columbus's score. Match time would probably be helpful if we started that clock down for you guys. Milwaukee now trying to defend against a new and improved roster. Once again, everything here is above board. The Columbus Armada do, in fact, have Michael King, as well as yours truly, on the roster. We knew that Columbus might be a little low on manpower, and just in case, since we know that this particular squad not looking to make much of a run or anything serious, just in case, wanted to add in case, a player was needed here and there. As we're now sitting at 19-9 for Milwaukee. King in the back court. Goes to the center back. He pops it out to Patchko. Patchko going long to Roden, and he gets it to go. Columbus 10. Milwaukee 19. Columbus slow to get back on defense. Graber stays up. Now Davis. Davis on a long shot. He goes wide on it, though. And that ball will be safe in Orr's hands. Possession starts. And that's a timeout to the referee. As King says he touched it, that'll be Milwaukee's ball. And Milwaukee will throw in on a corner. Davis out to the right, goes to the wing. Wing comes back in on an overload. Overload goes straight past or score from Milwaukee, 20-10. United, the first team on the day to get past the 10 mark. I should say the 20 mark. And Graber goes long, not able to make it. Intercepted. Milwaukee trying to make something happen there or keeps it safe. And that ball bounces harmlessly out. Columbus will restart. And King throwing the ball away again. Milwaukee doing everything they can. And that slots past or, sorry, Columbus does not lose a point. Milwaukee gains one, 21-10. Ball starts with Rondon. Why did I say Rondon? Rodin. Rodin, ironically, my favorite Godzilla player, or not player, monster, is Rodin. Actually, it's Biolante, but that's besides the point. Milwaukee, long pass, do the pivot. Good enough defense? No, a little too hard a defense. That'll be a 7 for Milwaukee. I don't see any further defensive charge. However, Graber got a little bit too much on him, number 2 to take, and that's a bounce out. And that's no-go. Milwaukee will walk away from that one without too much to talk about there. Rondon now in the middle. Rondon to King. King running through, and he will spin that one in for a Columbus goal. Minnesota now. Why did it? Milwaukee now. I'm so sorry, guys. Milwaukee now on the attack from the right. Lopez looks at Davis. Davis fumbles it. Back to Mitchke. Mitchke tries to go to the pivot, and he misses the mark. That'll be a Columbus ball. Orr's hands safely holding it. Columbus down 10. What can they do here as Buxman unable to hold that one? Turnover. Milwaukee now running. And that ball, the fast break is stopped thanks to an effort by Teddy Campbell. We are still getting a Milwaukee possession. A lot of support from Milwaukee in the chat. Love to see that. Your guys are certainly playing well. Certainly enjoying their time here. And Milwaukee will get another 7-meter. Mitchke to take. And Mitchke to score. 22-11 for Milwaukee. Campbell now. Out to King. Rondon in the middle. And Campbell with an absolute artillery shell of a shot. Fire those cannons. As Columbus, as the age-old meme goes, Campbell hits a huge long-range shot to lower the lead to 11-10. Milwaukee trying to find their pivot, unable to do so. Columbus catches the ball in the midst of it all. And Buxman, out of position, not paying attention, will end possession there. Mitchke now in the middle. Mitchke, and that's not going to go. Clean defense by Columbus, and they get a second chance at life there. King to attack. King on the left. He moves through individual 1-2 step goal. Impressive display of athleticism for number 3. As Milwaukee will start their attack again. Boy, I do wish I was on that sideline right now, barking orders, unfortunately, or fortunately for the Columbus guys. I have bigger roles here, bringing this audio to you guys and doing the best we can. And that's a hit off the crossbar there, and that's a save by Orr. Columbus escapes another one. Can they come back from this? And that'll be a Graber shot. Does not connect. Good effort, though. Great experience. Exactly what you need to do from that wing shot. Once again, Christian Graber has never played a game before. We welcome all of our newcomers to this sport. We love to see anybody that wants to play in this game. And that one going to the back of the net. Milwaukee 23, Columbus 13. Columbus did have a little bit of life in them. We'll see if they can keep that spark alive. And Milwaukee trying to break through. They do break through, I think. And no, that will be called as a travel. And the ball will be blown dead. Oh, it just occurred to me that I might be a little behind on the time here. Sorry, guys. The current time is 17:10. We're going to go ahead and set that for you viewers at home. Make sure everything is as accurate as we can get to as we look to restart. Milwaukee on 6. Columbus on 5 now, as Campbell has to take a seat. Patchko. Patchko goes long to Graber. Goes back to Roden. Roden tries to find King. He does, and that'll be a 7 for Columbus. With Roden stepping up to take. Roden against Fleming. Fleming moving in the box, and he's not able to keep it out. Columbus ball, Columbus goal. Now on the move, Milwaukee from their back line. Yeager back in center back. Yeager again looks down, and a wide open hole. However, JD Orr able to get there with a sick goalie save. Columbus down 9. We will see how much of that lead they can pull back on. I believe the unwritten rules of this one are Milwaukee will win this game unless Columbus's guys not named Michael King can make it happen on their own. And we're starting to see some LA players cycle in for their game. Still a solid 15. I forgot to hit the dang button again, didn't I? All right. Still a solid 15 minutes left in this one. And that's the 15-14. Pulling all the way down there to 15-15. Milwaukee steals it away on a breakaway. And, oh, and that is at JD Orr's face. It definitely was not intentional. You'd see it'd be much more powerful if it was, being completely honest. However, the Milwaukee player will have to sit for that. That is number 2. Isn't that the third? Yes, it is. The third 2 for number 2. He will be suspended for the rest of the game. I thought it as soon as I said it. I said, wait a minute, that guy's already been out 2 times in the first half. Yes, he was, and he will be out now. Columbus up a man, down 10. How much is it going to matter? Let's find out. 15 minutes left in this one. Waiting now for the referee to signal for the start of the game, and it looks like they're going to be talking a little bit with the court officials. And now I do believe they're going to let him start as one of the referees makes her way down. And yes, Mensing blows. We're good to go. King taking it up, going out to the right. Patchko. Campbell over there on the left. King cycles around, goes down, and Campbell almost got the ball for possession. It'll stay in Columbus's end regardless. Stay in Milwaukee's end. Stay in Columbus's possession regardless. King goes down to Graber, and Graber's inside the 6. That'll be a turnover. A minute 20 left for Milwaukee. Jaeger. And Pashko pops that one out. That is still Milwaukee's ball. Milwaukee in no hurry at this point in time. This game is effectively over. These Columbus guys fighting hard, having fun, I hope. That looks fun, you know. I personally happen to love the sport of handball. It is my favorite sport. 13-20 now left there. And as much as Columbus tries to get through on that one, they're not able to do so. Milwaukee ball yet again. Jaeger from the middle. Jaeger, jump shot, too high. Ball back in the Armada's hands. As Orr having a little bit of an issue figuring that one out. King passes up Campbell. Big congratulations to JD Orr as his second daughter, I think a while ago, but I don't think I've been able to say it on a stream yet. So for all you out there wondering, yes, JD Orr, father of 2, father of the entirety of the Ohio and effectively the Midwest collegiate handball scene. Dude just likes building stuff, I guess. He also an engineer, so even more building. Who would have thought? Recently took the U.S. national team over to something called Barstool in Chicago, which I guess they had some fun, introduced the sport to, I guess, whatever the audience for that is. Roden now. Pasco, and it's just wide. And that'll be a timeout for Milwaukee as the clock sits at 12:02. What you see is accurate, 24-14. And with that timeout, we'll go into a brief transition.
Discover a treasured part of Florida called the Jewel of the Treasure Coast. For good reason. A fusion of coastal old Florida and new adventures, where sunset dining intertwines with vibrant local art scenes. And tea times meet game days for effortless enjoyment. Uncovered treasure in St. Lucie, Florida.
Looks like both teams are A-OK with taking a shorter than technically allowed timeout. Not really much that the Armada can say to get this one going again. I'd call this game over. It's not technically, but overall, I think that they're just out there to have a good time, play some good handball. Once again, go through your reps. I think it was the great Nick Saban that said as soon as the rep over, you need to not let it control you emotionally because the rep is done. Doesn't matter what happened. What matters is how you execute on the next one and how you learn from it. In many ways, that's kind of why the teams come and play in open. Correct. Open is not a $1 million purse or anything like that, but these guys get to play against teams from around the country doing just about any style of handball they so wish, and that'll be a charge for Milwaukee. Columbus's possession. And Pachko has to pass that one back to Orr. King now in the middle. Passes up to Roden. King out to Campbell. Campbell, jump shot, goal. Oh, sorry. I used to pushing the wrong button. Milwaukee. I think that this is a wonderful way for them to come out of qualifying, getting the win. I am unfortunately not aware of if they had an earlier game, and if they did, what that earlier game was. What I do know is that this group is going to be dominated by LA. Kind of hard to miss that one. Milwaukee now in the backfield, moving the ball around. They go for the pivot cross. That's Mielka. And Lopez takes a shot. Lopez shot ricochet. The open divisions with Milwaukee and Columbus also includes Flanders and LA. LA almost certainly will win that one. It'll be a fight between Milwaukee and Flanders for second. Once again, unsure of how that first game went. I believe they've already played, but I'm not certain. And King fires it straight into the goalie's leg. No to do. Danilov now reprising his role in the center. Danilov surveying. He goes out wide, 17. That's Lopez. Lopez. Danilov. Wing cross. And they pass it down to their own player's leg. Or now, starting an attack. Patchko trying to hold on. He's not able to, but he will earn a 7, no, a corner for his efforts. King dribbles, passes down to Sherwood. Sherwood unable to control. And that'll be a breakaway through ball. And Milwaukee will put it in the back of the net. Just to confirm the screen, I have not been monitoring the time again. Do apologize. We are sitting at 8 minutes, 56 seconds. Right where you see it now. Well, I can't necessarily be good on the stream, but I sure as heck can be good on making sure the fix is in. No, that sounds bad. The fix is in. I fixed the issue. Put it that way. And that'll be a number 2 for number 4 on Milwaukee. As he'll have to sit, and Campbell steps up to take a 7. And actually, the referee calls it dead. She didn't like what she saw. 8:39. And there we go. Campbell does get that one in. We'll hit play on that ball, and that'll continue play. Milwaukee. Ball defended. They get possession again, and that'll be over. Clean defense by Columbus means a clean turnover. Or now with possession. And Rodin unable to penetrate on that one. He just hits the keeper. Columbus 25, Columbus 15, Milwaukee 26. Was even for a little bit. And after that, Columbus very clearly in control of this one. I'm sorry, Milwaukee very clearly in control of this one as Patchko's shot goes wide. I would imagine, as I do have my handy dandy phone in front of me, the next game should be Los Angeles versus Swimming and Sports Club. And there's Rodin, once again, pulling it to 10 with just over 7 minutes left. Yes, Los Angeles versus Swimming and Sports Club Flanders. Kind of understood to be the Nyack C team behind Nyack Red. I'm not entirely sure what the official relationship is between SSC and everyone else, but I can tell you that this August, SSC will once again host their outdoor handball festival tournament that they're very proud of, and it's a very fun one. If you have never been to a handball tournament and you want to play a fun handball tournament, not necessarily a hard handball tournament, come on out to Flanders, and they will definitely show you guys a wonderful handballing time. Do you have any idea how hard it was there to not say show you a good time? I was like, oh, I can't say that. I really can't say that. All right. Danilov over to Lopez. Danilov. Mitchke over on the left. Mitchke kind of quiet tonight, but he's still been contributing. And the referee blows. states that the ball has to be played in from the spot of the foul. Danilev tries to get past, and that's a double dribble. Yep. Armada ball. Sherwood on a breakaway, and Sherwood hits it home for Columbus. 26-18. According to the official tally, I apparently did miss a goal earlier. Danilev reprising his role. King steps out in the pocket and or able to keep that one out, or long pass, Rodin not able to make it. And that one is picked up by the keeper, harmless. Down 8, 5 minutes left. Is it impossible? No. Is it extremely difficult? Yes. Columbus will have to pressure high if they want a real chance at this. You do see some pressure high, and you do see J.D. Orr giving it everything he can to make sure that doesn't happen. Now King on a breakaway. King on a breakaway alone. King score. Mike King reminding everyone how he got his last name. Man on fire in American handball. Danilev now starting this attack. Milwaukee knows they have it sealed. They just have to play their game. Don't let the Armada control the time. Don't let the Armada control your offensive play. Mitchke. He looks. He doesn't like anything. He pops it up. Danilev. Danilev goes out to the wing, and it'll go through. Milwaukee 27. Columbus 19. King from the spot. Sherwood to inbound. King now in the middle. Pops it out to Campbell. Campbell breaks to the side, and that one goes over. 3 minutes, 54 seconds. What you see on the screen is accurate. Barring any kind of whackery happening in this game, that will be the accurate time for the rest of this. Danilev through the middle. Passes down. Campbell stops it. Rodin gets the ball, gets the reception. Patchko breakaway. Patchko shot, goal for Patchko. 27-20. It might be too late for Columbus to mount a serious comeback, but they're going to make it look fun anyways. And just like that, Milwaukee responds. Armada now on the attack. They go to Campbell. He's been their artillery piece all day. Rodin into the pivot. Sherwood. Sherwood gets it through. 21-28 with just about 3 minutes left. There we go. Mitchke with possession on the left. And Lopez shots through. Shots fired. Missed. A very tame chat. I thank you guys for. And just like that, some whackery occurs as the ball goes over past the barrier bleachers. Ball is blown back inbounds. 2:33 remain. Yeah, we're still about accurate with the clock. And King from a long distance, 90-degree angle shot, pulls it to 6. 2:20 left. No serious chance for Columbus. The momentum makes it feel like it, but there's just not enough time. Danilev stops that one, and it will be Orr's ball. Orr now, King wide, and it won't go. 2 minutes left. Columbus has upped the ante, exactly what you want to see. They will not roll over. A lot of fight in this team. Of course, that's what you always say about a team that's dead on arrival. And kickball off of King will stay in Columbus's end. Milwaukee possession. Lopez, Danilev, Lopez from the right. Danilev center. Orr keeps it out. Columbus ball. King, long pass. Sherwood, and he can't convert on it. Ooh, wow, I turned that camera way too far. Sherwood can't convert on it. Good attempt, though, by Columbus guys. And this one is all but over here. A minute left. What are they going to do? Lopez in the middle. It'll stay Milwaukee ball. Is this Milwaukee's last attack? Maybe, maybe not. Milwaukee took this game very seriously. Love to see it. And they will be rewarded for their efforts as yet another ball slides in. Milwaukee 29, C-Bus 22. King passes out. Patchko dribbles through. Oh, a beautiful goal for Bruce Patchko. And checked in 53 for Milwaukee. I don't have a name for you, sir, but I hope you enjoy your minutes. 30 seconds left. And that'll be a 9 for Milwaukee. Nothing to do there. Just a regular old defensive possession. Well, all in all, I would call this a good game of handball. And Patchko wants the ball. He cannot do that. I don't believe, anyways. Lopez now with possession. Goes to Danilev, and he scores 30 for Columbus. 30 for Milwaukee. 23 for Columbus. Your final score as United knock out the Armada for contention. The Armada now playing for only consolation matches. A solid Midwest beatdown. However, some very notable highlights on both sides. I was a huge fan watching Percy Lopez Fonseca do his thing. Mitchke had a lot of power in him, and Nicholas Davis, always fun to watch. Ralph Yeager, of course, featuring at center back. Love to see that alongside of Danilev. For Columbus, what else is there to say? Bruce Patchko had an amazing game. Colby Sherwood clearly building this team into something that's actually worth competing in. There's nothing there, LA guys. Sorry. No, there's nothing there. You can't be seen. It's fine. Yeah, go further out. Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm just saying they can't see. It's fine. It's fine. Keep going. And some fans, possibly players for LA, saying hello to the camera now, saying hi to their family. Absolutely. Love to see that. Love to engage the crowd. I think when I was saying they can't see you, they heard, please leave. Never going to say that, especially not after a game. All right, final from this one, Milwaukee 30, Columbus 23. Said all that needs to be said. Congratulations to Milwaukee on their win. For Columbus, a lot of things to work on. However, it is a bright future for the boys from Ohio. My name is Kurt Schaefer. This has been the U.S. Open Championship Tournament, Men's Open Division. Up next, we have LA2 versus